we go with the Marder II, the true German sniper tank destroyer. It has a great gun. What do we have here? Let's have a quick look. 118 penetration at tier 3, 125 damage. That's monstrous. You can pretty much two-shot most tier 3 tanks and pen any tier 5, and you won't see anything aside from that. So it's pretty nice. Now we have our little game on Lakeville here. Let's see what we can do. Crushing the boxes as usual. And what you want to do in the Marder, because obviously, let's change it down a little bit. 7 as usual. Gee, thanks. Yeah, that's right. And what you want to do with the Marder II is spot the enemy before he sees you, because this one has no armor. Let's just say it has 0 armor, because really anything that shoots you will most likely pen you. Don't even pretend otherwise, it will just happen like that. Now here we go, nice little first shot on that T-50. They're capable of taking another one. There we go, first kill of the day. Obviously now I'm trying to get away because I'm spotted. These guys over there that are currently going to the city, they can see me. So I'm getting the hell out of here. And I made my escape. Now, as I said, there's no armor on this thing. It is open top, so you want to fight on a distance. So I tried to get the M2 here, but was already killed. And I don't want to fight the T-46 up front, because it will murder me horribly when I fight one-on-one against this guy. So what I'm trying to achieve now is getting a sniper position. Get a bush, hide on it, or just stay on long range. As you can see, T-46 is taking a beating here. Not really caring all too much about that. There we go, he's down. Now there's an M4 in front of me. That is a really bad target for me. Even with the 76mm, he just needs 2 shots, which won't take long. He'll just murder me. So instead I'm trying to have a look in the mid. This is a really great position. Nothing in mid will spot you, most likely. And I can just have a look. However, since now the city is compromised, there's an M4 somewhere on the loose, I decided, well, screw this. I'm just gonna take on this M4 now. There's nothing else to do anyway. And someone has to. The T1 is just sniping in mid, so really it's now on me. However, I don't want to fight an M4 Sherman directly, obviously. Here we go, another tier 3 tank. And by the time he can shoot, he's already dead. Really, the gun on this is the best thing ever. Now here's the thing. A few patches ago, the Marder was nerfed horribly. Accuracy, aim time, reload speed, I think too. Everything was nerfed about this tank. Speed too. So mobility has become worse. It's still good though. Not great, but good. But really what nagged me the most was the accuracy nerf plus the aiming time. However, with the new accuracy buffs, the Marder now is back in duty. So as you can see, I spot the M4 here. I'm spotted, however. This perk is really nice. 6 cents on the Marder II, really important. As soon as you can get it, get it. Because in such a low armored tank, it is really important to know when you're spotted and when you're not spotted. As you can see, all flanks are falling apart. Pretty much the team itself is falling apart. However, the enemy team doesn't even have that many tanks left. So, might not be a too shabby winner, lose, right? I'm spotted here. However, being spotted now is not that bad, because he has 2 tanks in front of him, 1 tank behind him. Really what we want to do now is put some pressure on him. He needs to know that he's under attack. There we go. Missed my foot on the move. Don't ever do that. That was really bad by me. However, there we go. Getting another nice shot here. Taking out the M4. Now down to 4 tanks versus 6. Now I try to communicate with my team now in a few seconds, tell them what to do in order to make this happen. As you can see, I'm going back to base. Obviously, the enemy team has defeated all defenders on the western side, and now I'm gonna use what the Marder is best at. Well, here you can see the problems with the, I think, nerfed engine it is. I think it has less horsepower, and that's the problem. Because it was much, much better prior to the nerfs. However, you don't always need that. I got up here, and as long as I can get up here, it's all alright. So I'm taking a defensive position now. I'm slowly trying to get towards the meadow over here, which I think gives a slight camo bonus. I'm not sure about that, but I think it does. So enemies capping the base. I can't spot them apparently, so I'm driving forward a little bit, right into the meadow. And there we go. Hello, sir. And goodbye. And the next customer awaits. Why hello, sir. Yes, you're under fire. Yes, you're going to die. Really nice. There you can see the accuracy is back in action. Everyone who owned the Marder II prior to the nerfs and played it a lot because it was just fun killing all these tier 5 tanks. Just, you know, like I did. It is back. Seriously, this is... I know tier 3 tanks is kind of like fighting all the new players and what many people like to call seal clubbing and stuff like that, but really, it is fun. It is just fun, and isn't that what we play video games for? Now, here you can see I try to tell the M3 Lee, go through the middle, attack the M5 Stuart that's coming through there, instead of the KV5 that's coming up front, because I could deal with the KV5. If the T-34 couldn't spot me, the KV will never build a KV. I think it's language barrier here that keeps the M3 Lee from going to the mid, because he's trying to go to the base instead. Oh well, that just happens. Now, there's nothing much else to say there. The Marder II is back in action. What else is there to say? Equipment, get a camo net, get a rammer, get binocs. Just as usual. Oh no, wait. This vehicle doesn't have a rammer. I'm sorry, that was my bad. But instead, there we go. Instead, you might want to use a GLD, gun laying drive device, whatever. Because of the higher aiming time this tank has. With the gun laying device, you can just aim much faster. Now, as you can see, the KV1 is coming up there. I've already written these guys off, so I'm like, alright. Let's go and get the artillery, because as you can see on the minimap, last seen an A7, and I think he's still there. So what I hope happens now is I can kill the artillery, and these guys can deal with the KV1. I don't know why I thought that actually, because an M3 Lee and an Hetzer, yeah, you know, they can put it off. I mean, the M3 Lee has a really beastly gun, so does the Hetzer, but given the current position on the minimap, I'm like, I should be like, no, they're not going to do that. However, I'm just hoping that I can get the artillery and the KV1 will be heavily damaged. However, KV1 is now in their base. I can't see their health. He kills the Hetzer instantly. I'm like, no, I can't trust the M3 Lee. Hetzer replies 86% on the KV1. He kills the M3 Lee without a problem, I think. And it's basically a KV1 with artillery support against the Marder II. This is, one might say, a bad thing, but for any experienced player who knows the Marder II from prior to the patch, this is what you want to happen. The KV1 is one of the tanks in tier 5 with the worst view range. This is like, I don't know, what can you... This is like free candy. Free candy given to a child. The Marder II is the child, and the KV1 is the candy. And it's time to rip that candy apart and eat it. As you can see, he tries to cap here. I'm just slowly driving up. As you might have seen, I'm not using any APCR. You won't need it. Seriously. To fire on tier 5 tanks, I assume everyone knows that 118 penetration is more than enough. 158 pen, you need it. I would have liked these in the tier 6 days, when you had the +3 matchmaking. As you can see, I'm being careful again. The best thing to play this tank is to be careful. Even against a KV1, you don't want him to spot you. I'm a one-shot for him. Even if he used the 85 mil, he might be one-shotting me. So really, I want to be careful here. As you can see, it's partially stuck. First shot hits the tracks. Don't really care, because the first shot is to reset the cap. Delicious experience. Coming right now. As you can see, accuracy is still subpar. Not as good as it was prior to the nerfs. But as you can also see, with the new buff, it works so very well. No. Yeah, he's clever. He's trying to use the house as cover. However, who cares about houses? And goodbye. Nice few shots on the KV1. He had no chance. And I got my, what's the name again? Halon medal? Yeah, I think that's it. So now it's down to the Sturmpanzer II against a Marder II. God, I love this tank so much. Now, the last shot on the KV2, god damn it, KV1 was about, I think, 200 meters away from me, and even then he didn't spot me. So really, having a high camo skill and the camo net, of course, really helps the Marder II. And camo skill, I'd say, is the first thing to do and to get. And then reskill the crew, the commander that is, with 6 cents. And give him camo as the second skill. With that setup, you're free to go. You might even want to use something else aside from a fire extinguisher, because really, one shell will most likely kill you. So, trying to figure out where the Sturmpanzer II is. As you can see on the minimap, he was last seen at A7. So I'm moving my way. Replay is being a little bit bugged out right now, but, well, it conveys the important things, doesn't it? Now I'm trying to figure out, is he still up there? Can I see him? Nope. So I'm moving up a bit closer. You have to always think. I'm still thinking that he's there or somewhere along these lines, because he was last seen there. And there we go. He's now spotted. However, he also has seen me. There we go. So I'm taking a shot, moving out. He hasn't fired yet, which is nice for me. So I'm trying to pot shots here, but they don't really work. So I'm getting it, you know. Now, that's 8 kills. You won't always get such a great battle, obviously. There are times where you will just get obliterated on the Marder II when you're not careful enough, because you really have to be careful. Any KV-1, M4, Panzer IV, Hetzer, all kinds of tanks, even an M3 Lee will most likely 1 or 2 shot you. So really, you have to be careful about this. But as long as you are, and you use the strengths of these tanks, it is great camo rating, an awesome gun, now back in action again with the new accuracy buffs, and the mobility that is still there. It is not as fast as I said, it's not as fast as it used to be. It's much slower, but then again, it is fast enough to get you into position. And if you figure out the best positions on every map for this tank, then you have a good time in it. On both tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5 matches. So, the Marder II, my recommendation, it won't take you all too much time to get it, because, you know, it doesn't cost all too many experience points or credits, and it offers you a great gaming experience. So I'd say, if you haven't already, get it. If you have already and sold it with the nerfs, buy it back. The Marder II reporting back in action. And I'm signing off for today. See you next time.